Think about this madness for a second. When he heard what happened in Marineford War, the Paramount War, Mayo Rayleigh was able to swim across a calm belt to Amazon Lily, and en route, he took out Sea Kings to get to Amazon Lily. He is the first person we've seen in the series go toe-to-toe with an Admiral, Admiral Kizaru, and he did scratch Kizaru, thereby the first person showcasing arm haki against a Logia. On top of that, his haki in general is across the board amazing. The first person to actually showcase this advanced Ryo haki that does internal damage with Kami's collar, and we know for a fact that he was able to sense all the animals' power levels on Ruskaina. He has to date one of the best observation haki feats in the verse. And then of course, on top of all of this, the man has Conqueror's haki. And a lot of folks theorize that he has Conqueror's haki infusion, now that we know you can do it. The anime has also added crazy filler for Rayleigh. Like for example, him schooling a young Marco, a prime Rayleigh schooling a young Marco with a finger, or even beating a Gear 4 Bowman, the first iteration of Gear 4 Bowman during the time skip for Luffy's training. So given all these great things about Rayleigh, is Rayleigh stronger than Garp? Garp! 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 Thing here is this, man. It's kind of crazy, right? Because we went through a top 30 stream at the beginning of this month, January, and we also had a community version of this done by Baby Swag Monster. Shots to him on Discord. A lot of people did have Rayleigh as the strongest of the old man trio. So the old man trio meaning Sengoku, Garp, and Rayleigh. Elderly folks in the world of One Piece that are somewhat retired, but still pack an amazing punch. And on the community version of our top 30 list, Rayleigh was 21 overall, Garp was 22 overall, and Sengoku was 26 overall. Now, folks have their own takes on Sengoku, but I want to focus more so on Garp for this video because Rayleigh versus Garp is actually a good representation of the core conflict that we see when it comes to trying to gauge how powerful One Piece characters are. So, first of all, in this day and age, both Rayleigh and Garp are older and slower. As Balder said, slow and old. Slow and old. It is what it is. They're not the young bucks they used to be. And even though in an SBS, Oda did mention that the older folks don't necessarily lose power when they get older, the problem is that the characters themselves in the story have mentioned that they have gone weaker or rustier because of age. And this applies to both Garp and Rayleigh. And yet, the first time we see Garp in action, the man comes off the gate haunting, off the gate busted. He's throwing cannonballs way faster than normal. And then after those small cannonballs, like he had a Toon World Yu-Gi-Oh card in his back pocket, this man pulls out a Looney Tunes size iron ball out of nowhere, and he just lobs it the Straw Hat's way. Listen, this man displayed so much Toon Force in that moment. I am casting my vote in for Garp in Space Jam 3, starring Jean Morant.
Avery Bradley with the deflection against Bang! Oh, Morant! What an incredible block!
But then at Marineford, he does thwart Marco. I'm gonna use the word thwart there. Not necessarily a big deal, but he did attack Marco one time. And then he did assist Sengoku fighting against the Blackbeard Pirates. And many people, to this day, believe that Garp would have killed Akainu at Marineford if Sengoku didn't stop him. I actually did ask this question on Twitter at the beginning of this month, and then people said yes. The majority of folks said yes. Garp would have killed Akainu at Marineford. That is how highly people view Garp. So in their minds, thank God, Sengoku held Garp back. But I will not be holding you back from rating the video. Ah, there it is, baby. Yes, from rating the video, to subscribe to the channel, and of course, click on that bell to join the notification squad. And of course, we all know just how high Garp's portrayal is in the story. We all know without a doubt. This man fought alongside Goldie Roger against the legendary Rox D. Sebek and became the hero of the Marines. Him and Roger have fought to the death repeatedly. He tag teamed with Sengoku to defeat the Golden Lion Shiki. He could have been an admiral way back when if he wanted to, and be Prime Don Chinjao in the past, and he had to actually pulverize a few mountains just for training to beat Don Chinjao. So given all of this greatness for Garp that we are aware of, why then do many folks believe that Rayleigh is stronger than Garp? And I think it all boils down to a very simple dynamic: feats versus portrayal. This is also why in the past, I put Rayleigh over Garp, because it was mainly due to the things that they did, their feats, rather than how they are viewed in the story, their portrayal. We have seen Rayleigh go toe-to-toe with Kizaru, a man that can move at the speed of light. We know that Rayleigh has all three Haki types. We can assume, maybe, that Garp has Conqueror's Haki, but at this point in time, nowhere even close to being confirmed. And then we already know that Rayleigh has this advanced Ryo Haki that can do internal damage to people and structures. The general gist here is that Garp is, for the most part, told to be a monster, but Rayleigh has shown time and time again to be a monster. Plus, very important here, Rayleigh does have very good portrayal as well. Even from Garp himself, at Shibuya Archipelago, when they realized that Rayleigh was there, he mentioned how the Marines couldn't handle taking on two legends at the same time. One legend was, of course, Whitebeard. The other one was probably Rayleigh. Some folks theorize it was Shaki? Maybe. But until then, I'm going to say Rayleigh. Mayo Rayleigh. Of course, being the vice captain of the Roger Pirates, and obviously, why is he called the Dark King? Mayo. What does that mean? We still don't know. Bars. We're talking about something to be a whole can of worms when Oda finally reveals why Rayleigh has the moniker Dark King. Or it could be something more symbolic and simple. Roger is the sun and Rayleigh is the moon, kind of like Shanks and Ben Beckman, therefore he is the Dark King-ish. Maybe, it could be something like that. But at the end of the day, is Rayleigh overrated? Most likely, yes. Most likely, yes. Because portrayal, I still think, does matter absolutely. I do view portrayal in One Piece equal to that of the feats. Both things matter greatly and equally, I'd argue at this point in time. And ever since the Rox Pirate God Valley reveal in the legendary chapter 957, the ultimate chapter, I think Garp's portrayal has outshined Rayleigh's feats, personally. Which is why I no longer have Rayleigh over Garp. In the past I did. God Valley, Garp and Roger, Roxy Sebek, my whole tune changed. I put Garp now over Rayleigh. And also, a lot of Garp's portrayal is in lockstep with Goldie Roger, a man who we can easily assume is stronger than Rayleigh. If folks believe that Rayleigh is just as powerful as Roger, I'd argue you're out of pocket, honest to God. It's like saying that Zoro or Sanji now is as strong as Luffy now. No shot. Plus, going back to the Kizaru fight, if Rayleigh and Kizaru continues on to completion, Rayleigh, I'd argue, loses to Kizaru 1v1. Absolutely. Age and rust, they prevent Rayleigh from being on that level anymore. And when you compare, I'll be honest here, when you compare Marco versus Kizaru to Rayleigh versus Kizaru, Marco just performs flat out better, 100%. No signs of fatigue, no sweat, nothing. And the man has a busted devil fruit. So Marco does absolutely perform better one-on-one against Kizaru than Rayleigh does. And I would say that that comparison is actually a pretty good metric to gauge how powerful Rayleigh is compared to the second strongest person in any Yonko crew. So make no mistake, Rayleigh is a very powerful dude. I think at this point in time, he's still a top 30 strongest fighter in the verse, but I think that Garp does outshine Rayleigh for the most part. And at this point in time, unless Rayleigh has been training over the past 2 years steadily to improve his skills or try and maintain his shape, there's a good chance that he's also gotten weaker from the pre-time skip because of natural age ebb and flow. So I think even more so now that he's not stronger than any person that's an admiral like Fujitora or Green Bull, Kizaru, Aokiji, and of course guys that are the number 2 in the Yonko crew. So King the Wildfire, of course, Katakuri, Marco, I'd even say Sabo as well, is stronger than Rayleigh. And honest to God, I'll be real here too. I'll be very real here too. At this point in time, when the Roger Pirates disbanded, I no longer think that Rayleigh was the second strongest person on that crew. I think he was actually number 3 because a man, a myth, a Chad existed on that ship and his name was Oden. Yes, because Oda goes through hell and high water to absolutely wank Oden. Like, it's his attempt to make Oden just as powerful as Roger or Whitebeard in their primes? So even though I love Rayleigh, is he overrated? Most likely yes. Because at the bare minimum, there's a good chance that Garp is stronger than Rayleigh. And honestly, I'm willing to bet that Sengoku is too. Because Sengoku is probably stronger than both those dudes. But another video, another day.